Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at both charts, but because not too much has happened, it will only be a brief update. But what I want to do, after we looked at the charts, I just want to have another look at the Bitcoin longs versus shorts, just to get an additional idea of the sentiment. And we can take a look at the fear and greed index as well, what kind of update it would give us and where it stands at the moment. You can see here on the Bitcoin chart that Bitcoin is still, just above the 44K range. Nothing too exciting has happened here in the last few hours. Bitcoin is still here at the key decision point. What is noteworthy is that Bitcoin has struggled so far to break above this critical resistance line at 44.4K. It hasn't managed to get above that. It needs to break through this, and then the next one would be 45.5. That is a bit of a resistance zone here, but the real critical one, I think, is that ascending trend line here, which would be sitting at just nearly where the target area is ending anyway, here at around 46.5. And if that level then gets broken, I think that is very important for us. That would be that neckline here of that huge head and shoulders that has been formed since July, or since end of July. If that gets broken, I think we can, as I said before, expect higher price levels, maybe all the way up to 65K. To be fair, in the current sentiment of the market, I think 65K would even be fairly unrealistic. I don't think from here we get to new all-time highs. I think the sentiment is changing now as well, that we're actually going to see another drop. A lot of people talk about that now. Let's see what's actually going to play out. Typically, it is the opposite of what people think is happening. So it is certainly a not too small probability that we actually move up. But at the moment, it's hard to give it a percentage anyway. Primarily, I would still expect we move straight away down from here in my target area between 20 and 28.7K. That would then mean that we have seen here a first wave down and now the second wave up, and the third wave should start now. The third wave should be something that goes fast, as we have seen here from this wave 4 to this wave 5. We have also seen a very similar pattern where I think we also saw a wave 1, 2, and then the wave 3 was a rocket start. That is what the other way around, isn't it? That's what I typically say. The wave 3 is typically very strong into the trend direction, and that is what we need to see here again. Have we had the wave 1 and then now 2, and we're now struggling? Then we need to see now, today, ideally, that move down. We've already got a red candle, but it's not enough. If we want to see that sell-off before we can finally get to a new all-time high, we need to see this wave 3 starting, okay? And it hasn't started yet. If it moves higher from here, it will get less likely that we're actually going to see this happen. And then I think a breakout could be more realistic to the upside. If we just look at the Fibonacci levels of this here, of these retracements, we can see that actually the let me just make that larger. The 44.1K level here was obviously broken. That was yesterday a critical level at 44.1, 44.2. That was broken yesterday. We even had here this candle on the 8-hour chart close above it. We've then come down. We are currently, I think, retesting this, and this was a critical level. But there's the next fib level still that is going to provide resistance here at 44.9, and we could even get all the way up to 45.3. But I think if we move above that, then we could really break through there and get to new highs, not all-time highs, but new highs. But on the other hand, the bears really need to start here, otherwise we are going to see this extension of the whole correction that could really be, as I said here, a extension. If we break that level of the whole correction here, like that, a little bit, not like that, so something like that, okay, would be a huge head and shoulders as well. but that is what I would expect if we break the 46.5. Apparently today they plan to release those notes from the closed board meeting of the Fed. I haven't really found any information about that. I only saw it in the comments. I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen, but it's something that could shake the markets a little bit, could lead to a bit of volatility, and could help to break one of these levels potentially. Cardano, just briefly, just moves here in this descending wedge again, also waiting for a further move. Primary expectation would still be that we are heading down here as well, especially as ADA seems to be struggling to make a higher high here. But again, too early to talk about any news because the price pretty much hasn't moved since my last video. But what typically happens if the Bollinger Bands get too tight, then you can expect at some point here a larger move. And at the moment, yeah, we've got a key support here at $1.02 and the resistance here at $1.14. And at the moment here as well, it is hard to say what's going to happen here. The low could theoretically be in. We haven't made a lower low yet, but all of this could just also be the beginning of a wave 5 to the downside. But these are also here the key levels that I'm watching out for. Now, looking at the Fear and Greed Index, that is sitting today at 51 again. It has got better, maybe because Bitcoin temporarily actually moved above, or moved all the way nearly here over, was that overnight? Nearly to 45K actually. Obviously you can see here the daily chart and how on the daily the price actually moved up from 42 to 40, nearly 45K. So here in the daily, so you know, that probably helped with the that probably helped with the sentiment a little bit, you know, but overall still rather neutral. The Fear and Greed Index, it's pretty much at 50, where we were pretty much I think last week. So it's very neutral, but in the last few days we were actually in the fear stage. But again, it just shows the sentiment in the crypto space at the moment, or generally it's very, very neutral. You know, there are bulls and bears fighting, pretty much same strength. Yeah, price isn't hardly moving at all, and that is what makes it so hard at the moment in the market. The other view, those were here the Bitcoin shorts, longs versus shorts. On the, I think it was in the live stream or on the weekend, we took a look at it. It was pretty much 50-50. So the sentiment as well showed 50-50, you know, same amount of shorts as longs were opened. So pretty much very, very similar. It rarely is like that you have the same number of shorts compared to longs. Now, what you can see here is that this has shifted and we see more and more shorts being opened here in the last few minutes. Depends on how I set this. All right, okay. No, if I set it to the last, for example, 12 hours, yeah, you can see now shorts are slightly increasing, but overall it's still pretty much 50-50. If I go to the 24 hours, yeah, okay, so you can see there isn't really any change to what we had on the weekend. I think on the weekend we had on the Bitfinex exchange, we had more shorts, far more shorts than longs. That has now equaled out again. I don't know why on 5 minutes it shows so different, but generally over 24 hours 50-50. Also here we can scroll through the different cryptos here briefly. ETH as well 50-50. I think they probably all show 50-50 here. Very, very, yeah, a few more shorts on BitGet for XRP, but I don't think it shows really anything. AVAX, BNB, all pretty much 50-50, and ADA as well. So yeah, no change really. And I think the market is really, really just waiting here for a decision. So it's really hard to say anything. As I said, everything that is moving here in this yellow target area doesn't really help us with understanding if a breakout is going to happen. Key level here to break through to the downside is 41K for Bitcoin and the 46.5 to the upside. And then I think we can be fairly confident with one of our scenarios. We've got two scenarios here we talked about. And yeah, it just means a bit of waiting still, unfortunately. If it is a wave 4, that's exactly what we expected, because a wave 4, as I've said so many times, can be very boring, can be very long. And, we had here these wave 4s just before Christmas, super boring. We had another wave 4 early in January, wasn't that long, but also fairly boring. And this is typically what happens in a wave 4. Just a lot of sideways movement and, indecision really. So yeah, so hopefully today we're going to see some more volatility. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And again, if you really like the content, maybe consider to join as a channel member, and you can then get access to Discord, Telegram, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.